In Excel, many beginners get confused between SUMIF, and SUMIFS. They look similar, but they solve very different problems. If you use the wrong one, your formulas become longer and harder to manage. In this video, I'll show you the difference and exactly when to use each function. We will use a simple data set to understand all three formulas. We will start with the sum function, then move to SUMIF, and finally SUMIFs. Sum is the simplest function. Let's try. Equals sum. So now I have a data which has region, product, and sales. So now I want to sum the sales. Either you can select the range manually or you can select the entire column, close the bracket, hit enter. So you got the sum of the sales. So the sum formula adds all the numbers in the sales column or the range that you have selected. So let's try with a multiple range with the same formula. So I'll just key some data over here, equals sum, select this range, comma, select this range, close a bracket. So now you have included multiple ranges and you're counting it. So you got 4100. Either you can do that. If not, the other simplest way is equals sum. You can select both the columns here and close a bracket. So you got the same answer. So these are the different ways you can apply this formula for based on your data and based on your requirement. Many beginners manually add cells like equals, this plus this cell plus this. So even though you get the same answer, this is a manual. And if you are working on a larger data, this takes a lot of time. So instead, always use sum because it is faster and easier to maintain. Let me show you one more real life example. I've taken a bit larger data, equals. So now let's find out the sum of the total sales, equals sum, select the column, close a bracket. Easy. You got the total sales for this data. Let's learn the SUMIF next. Delete all this. What if you want the total sales only for the East region? So here it comes a single requirement aligning with the total sales, right? So now I'm looking for the total sales of East region. My formula would be equals SUMIF. So here first is range. So the range would be your additional criteria. So in this example, the additional criteria is East. So the range would be the region, comma. Next is criteria. So what is the criteria you're looking for in this region is East. So that should always be in a double quotes, East, close a double quotes, comma. Next is sum range. So you are looking for the total sales in the East region. So your sum range would be your sales column. Select this, close a bracket, hit enter. So you got the total sales of East region. So you can do one more way. If you have a set of criterias already provided, like example, you have East, you have West. So you want to create SUMIF for this set of requirement already available. You can try equals SUMIF. So range will always be your region. When you are typing criteria, you don't have to update manually in the double quotes. You can directly select this, comma, and your sum range. Close a bracket, hit enter. So you still get the data. So we can try the same for West, equals SUMIF. Your range would be region, comma, and your criteria would be West, comma, and your sum range would be your sales column. Close a bracket, hit enter. See, you got it. And many beginners write this code incorrectly, like equals SUMIF, and they'll select the range, comma, and they'll select the criteria as East, but they'll forget to update the sum range because it is in the bracket and they'll think it is optional and it will not give you the correct answer. Let's try this with a larger data. Now we have order month, the region, who is a rep, item, units, unit cost, and total. So you can type anything. Like for example, you have the item of pencil and you have all the sales available for pencil. You can type get total sales for pencil equals sum of what is the range? The criteria is pencil. The range will always be the item section, comma, and you're looking for pencil, double quotes, pencil, close the double quotes, comma, sum range will be your total sales. Close a bracket, hit enter. So you got the total sales for pencil. So this is how you can use SUMIF. So in the sum, you got the total sales directly. If you want to add one requirement to it along with the total sales, you can use SUMIF. Next, we will move to the next function, that is SUMIFs. What if the manager or your supervisor asks total sales for laptop in East region? So you can understand we are adding the requirements one by one. In the sum, it was just a total sales. In the SUMIF, we added one requirement as a region. Now we are trying to add three requirements. So total sales is one requirement, laptop is a second requirement, and East region is a third requirement. Let's try that. Let me delete this. So equals SUMIFs. So first is sum range. You already know what is sum range. It's sales, comma, criteria range one. So you have two criterias now. One is laptop and one is East region. So you can take the first criteria. Either you can take product or region. So I'll be taking it as region as a first criteria. So the region, so the criteria range would be region, comma, what is the criteria? So here I'm looking for the total sales of laptop in the East region. So I'll type here as East, close double quotes, comma. Now criteria range 2, I'm looking for the laptop. So that will be the range of product, comma. So I'm looking for laptop, double quotes, laptop, close double quotes, close a bracket, hit enter. So now you got the total sales of laptop in East region. So that is how you added two requirements for the total sales. So that is how the SUMIFs will be used. Let's try this with the larger data. Here, last time we took pencil as one of the criteria. Let's add to it stating, let's get the total sales of pencil for East region. So these two are the criterias for us now. So let's try that. Equals SUMIFs. The sum range will always be your total sales, comma, criteria range one. You can either take item or region as criteria one. Let me take an item as criteria one range, comma, and your criteria is pencil. Add it in double quotes, PENCIL, comma. Next is criteria range two, that will be your region, comma. So now I'm looking for the region East. So I have keyed two requirements along with the total sales. Close a bracket, hit enter. So this gives you the total sales for pencil from East region. So that's where SUMIFS becomes powerful. So let's review the comparison. Sum function will only add the total numbers, and SUMIF function gives one condition and SUMIFS gives multiple conditions. So how to select the formula when you are working on it? So if there is no condition at all, please use sum formula. If there is one condition, you can go with SUMIF. And if you have multiple conditions, then you can use SUMIFS functions. In larger data sets like thousands of rows, SUMIFS is usually faster than having multiple SUMIF formulas. Now you know exactly when to use sum, SUMIF, and SUMIFs in Excel. In the next video, we will look at 5 Excel formulas used in almost every office job.